Good evening, you're now with me, Shalshma for TVS Nightline. Let's begin. The IDECS25 GALA dinner brought the 8th International Digital Economy Conference Sarawak to a close, a night that celebrated the region's strides in digital innovation and transformation. Held at the Sarawak Chamber Gallery, Riverside Majestic Hotel, the evening dazzled with cultural showcases, prestigious award presentations, and a keynote address by Minister for Utility and Telecommunication, Dato' Sri Julaihi Narawi. The event was further elevated by the presence of Sarawak Premier Dato' Tan Sri Abang Johari Dunopeng. For a closer look at the night's highlights, we now cross over to Lorenzo Isaac. Take it away, Lorenzo.
Thank you, Cheryl Shaminato. It was truly an evening of celebration and elegance here at the Riverside Majestic Hotel as the IDECS 2025 Gala dinner brought the curtain down on the 8th International Digital Economy Conference, Sarawak. The night shined a spotlight on Sarawak's journey in digital innovation and transformation, with leaders, industry players, and innovators all gathered under one roof to celebrate the state's progress towards a smarter, more connected future. Guests were treated to stunning performances by Kasumatari and Meruket, followed by the presentation of the Digital Economy Awards 2025, honoring outstanding achievements that continue to drive Sarawak's digital agenda forward. Minister for Utility and Telecommunication Dato' Sri Julaihi Narawi highlighted the importance of collaboration and innovation under the post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030, while Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Tan Sri Abang Johari Dunopeng, graced the event as guest of honor, marking a grand finale to IDECS 2025. Reporting from Kuching, I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Back to you, Cheryl.
Sarawak continues to move forward in its digital transformation as Sarawak ID is rebranded to SARAWAKPASS, part of efforts to strengthen the Sarawak government's digital governance. Sarawak Premier Dato' Tan Sri Abang Johari Dunopeng said the new digital identity system reflects the state government's guiding principle, one identity, multiple opportunities.
Formerly known as Sarawak ID, it now incorporates enhanced digital identity features, public key infrastructure, PKI, security, a digital wallet, and my benefit integration, providing a single trusted gateway to Sarawak's digital services. SARAWAKPASS reflects our guiding principle of one identity, many opportunities, ensuring secure, seamless, and convenient access to the government's digital ecosystem for every Sarawakian.
The system will be developed by Sarawak Information Systems Science, with additional features expected to be introduced later. The Premier added that 62% of government services have already been digitalised this year, well ahead of target, as Sarawak moves towards a full digital access by 2030. Inspired by Singapore's SingPass, SARAWAKPASS is part of the state's digital identity initiative aimed at enhancing cybersecurity, streamlining services, and building a trusted digital ecosystem. Sarawak will spotlight its advancements in renewable energy and the semiconductor industry at the 47th ASEAN Summit, taking place from October 26 to 28th at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre. Sarawak Premier Dato' Tan Sri Abang Johari Dunopeng said he was invited by Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim to share the state's policies in both strategic sectors, part of Malaysia's broader initiative to boost regional cooperation in technology and sustainable development.
Dan Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri telah meminta saya untuk berkongsi mengenai dengan dasar-dasar yang telah dibuat oleh Sarawak dalam dua bidang yang signifikan dalam ekonomi baru, iaitu tenaga bersih dan juga semikonduktor khasnya AI.
Meanwhile, Abang Johari welcomed the attendance of US President Donald Trump at the summit, expressing hope that his presence would lead to greater understanding of Asia-Pacific geopolitics and promote constructive dialogue on regional trade.
Sebab iklim pelaburan ini terjejas sedikit apabila Trump melaksanakan dasar tarifnya. Jadi saya harap pemimpin kita dalam ASEAN boleh berbicara dengan bijaksana untuk mengatasi masalah ekonomi disebabkan di dasar tarif Trump.
On to the next update. A 14-year-old boy has been charged at the magistrate's court with the murder of a 16-year-old girl who was fatally stabbed at a secondary school in Bandar Utama, Petaling Jaya last week. The boy is accused of killing the victim in a female student's toilet at a secondary school in Bandar Utama between 9:20 a.m. and 9:35 a.m. on October 14. However, no plea was recorded from the teenager as the offence of murder falls under the jurisdiction of the High Court. He was charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code, which carries the death sentence or imprisonment of between 30 and 40 years, and no less than 12 strokes of the cane upon conviction. The in-camera proceedings were conducted before Magistrate Amira Sarati Zainal, with only the teenager's family permitted in the courtroom as the case involves a juvenile. Deputy Public Prosecutor Raja Zaizul Farida Raja Zaharuddin appeared for the prosecution, while the teenager was represented by counsel Anwar Azad Zainal. The court set November 21 for the case mentioned. Earlier, the accused arrived at the court at approximately 8:50 a.m. in a police van. In the October 14 incident, the female student was found dead in a school toilet. Authorities suspect she was repeatedly stabbed by the teenage boy who attended the same school. According to Selangor Police Chief Dato' Shazili Kaha, a preliminary post-mortem report from the University Malaya Medical Centre established the cause of death as multiple stab wounds to the victim's chest and neck. The federal government has affirmed its respects for the Kota Kinabalu High Court's decision on the judicial review concerning Sabah's entitlement to 40% of federal revenue collected from the state. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim emphasised that the government will thoroughly review the full judgment once the official documents are received before taking any further steps.
Kerajaan Madani menghormati proses perundangan dan akan meneliti alasan penghakiman Mahkamah Tinggi Kota Kinabalu. Setelah diterima kelak, belum diterima lagi. Sebelum sebarang tindakan lanjut dilaksanakan atas nasihat Peguam Negara demi kebaikan dan kepentingan Sabah dan Malaysia seluruhnya.
Anwar emphasised that the High Court ruling underscores the federal government's obligation to conduct a joint review with the Sabah government under Article 112D of the Federal Constitution, aimed at ensuring the proper implementation of the 40% revenue entitlement. He clarified that the decision is not at odds with the government's current stance and noted that the issue has been prolonged through successive administrations. While affirming his administration's commitment to the ruling, Anwar firmly rejected narratives implying that the federal government has been merely extracting resources from Sabah without contributing to its development. He reaffirmed that the government fully respects the ongoing legal process and will avoid further public comment on matters still pending in court. An offshore wind power project connecting Vietnam to Peninsular Malaysia is expected to generate up to 2,000 megawatts of capacity by 2034, a major boost for the country's renewable energy capabilities. Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Amar Fadil Yusof said that 700 megawatts will be allocated for domestic use, while the remaining 1,300 megawatts will be channeled to Singapore via the national transmission grid.
Projek ini akan dilaksanakan secara dua fasa. Fasa pertama akan menawarkan pembangunan kapasiti tenaga angin luar pesisir sebanyak 2,000 megawatt dan pembinaan kabel dasar laut dari Vietnam ke Semenanjung Sebahagian daripada kapasiti tersebut sejumlah 700 megawatt akan dibekalkan untuk kegunaan domestik Malaysia. Manakala bakinya 1,300 megawatt akan didagangkan pada Singapura melalui talian perhantaran nasional. Fasa ini dijangka selesai pada tahun 2034.
Fadila further explained that Phase 2 will involve connecting the transmission line over land from Vietnam through Cambodia, Laos and Thailand before reaching Malaysia. He also noted that implementation of this phase will depend on the future assessment of energy needs and economic returns after the completion of Phase 1. Meanwhile, Fadila also stated that upgrades to the transmission grid in Peninsular Malaysia are underway, starting from the cable landing point in Kelantan and stretching across Terengganu, Pahang, Negeri Sembilan and Johor. And now on to world affairs. A wave of overnight Russian missile and drone attacks killed 6 people, including 2 children, and around Kiev, causing widespread power outages across Ukraine. The assault came just a day after diplomatic efforts to resolve the nearly 4-year conflict stalled again following the cancellation of a planned meeting between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Explosions were heard throughout the night in the capital, with the smoke seen rising above the city. The attacks also targeted critical energy infrastructure, prompting emergency blackouts during the cold season, according to Ukraine's energy ministry. Meanwhile, Russia claimed it had intercepted 33 Ukrainian drones overnight, reporting no major damage. Heavy machinery continues to tear down a section of the east wing of the White House on the second day of construction on President Donald Trump's planned ballroom, which he has said will be built entirely with private money. US President Donald Trump on Tuesday brushed off criticism over the demolition of part of the White House to build a new ballroom, saying the sound of the construction work was music to my ears. Democrats, including former First Lady Hillary Clinton, accused the Republican of failing to respect the presidential mansion after excavators tore off the facade of the building's east wing.
I've walked by this since I was a little girl, like for decades, and I was shocked to hear and see that they are demolishing a part of the White House. And then upon further investigation, I found out they're demolishing it to build a ballroom. I'm astonished. It's pretty upsetting. Number one, I don't know that this is something clearly that the public has a right to know and to weigh in on, because this is America's house. This house does not belong to any one official. It belongs to the people. And so if you're going to, demolish a part of this house, you have to ask the people permission. This is a historic landmark building. I have no idea how they were able to even get the permission to do this demolition, and to do it in such a sort of furtive, clandestine way under cover of darkness. It's kind of bizarre. It's just kind of shocking. So yeah, I'm definitely startled, taken aback, and hopefully now that the people know that this was something in the works, even in the aftermath, hopefully people can weigh in on it, and there may have to be some sort of repercussions. This is not acceptable.
I'm Charlotte Mato. Thank you for watching and have a good night.